Well, everybody, hope you are having a good start to your weekend. I had planned on doing this as a recording, but for some reason got the urge, or whatever you want to call it, to do a stream on it. So we're here on April the 8th, 1987. This is the third game of the season, second game of the season for everybody, third game day because the team split opening day, taking turns on the 6th and the 7th, getting their first games in. So now every team has played two games except for one, and that is the Orioles and the Rangers. This is their game two right here. Starting pitchers for today's game: Scott McGregor, a left-hander for the Orioles, 2-7, 6.64 ERA, and Ed Correa from Texas, 3-5 with a 7.59 ERA. So the runs will probably be plentiful in this one. Hello, Ben. How are you doing? The runs will most likely be plentiful in this game. Let me get my stuff in here together so I can see what you guys are seeing. I may need to raise this up just a hair so we can fit more stuff. Let's just see what we got here. Maybe that's too high. Maybe I overcompensated. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Did I spin it too much? There we go. There we go. Okay, I think that's better now. Hopefully. We have our benches and bullpens for both teams. In fact, let me do this, and hopefully this will keep everything from moving around too much. Right there. And that'll keep them together. And this will keep this from sliding all over the place. All right. Hopefully that's good enough right there. Oh, that's terrible. That's leaning too far. Let's go this way. Work in progress, folks. When I did all these other games, they were recording. This is the first time, other than the opening day game I did with Cleveland, Toronto, everything else was recorded. So it's slightly different, setup here. So I want to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. Might need to spin this a little bit. Hello, John. How are you doing? I think that's better now. So it looks like everything is showing up the way it should be, as best I can tell. Tabby is in the room, but she's quiet, so I'm certainly not gonna bother her. Let's take a look at the games that were played previously on this date, April the 8th. And maybe the surprise team so far. It's only been two games, so it's kind of hard to call it a surprise. But the Chicago White Sox are 2-0 as they beat the Kansas City Royals 4-2 in 10 innings. They scored two in the ninth against Quisenberry, who's really struggled. The runs were actually charged to Steve Farr, but Quisenberry gave up the inherited runners. Royals were ahead 2-0. Charlie Leibrandt 6+ innings of shutout ball, but he tired, and they went to Farr for 2 innings, and then Quisenberry couldn't hold it. And then Bud Black came in to relieve Quisenberry, but it was just not going to work. Bobby Thigpen got a second save, so the White Sox take a 2-0 record as they take a 4-2 victory over the Kansas City Royals. The Toronto Blue Jays moved to 2-0 as they defeat the Cleveland Indians by the score of 3-1. Jim Clancy got the win, Tom Hinkie the save, Swindell the loss. Home run by Gruber, his first, and Corey Snyder did hit one for Cleveland, but too little too late. Real game was 5-1. They won 3-1. Toronto is now 2-0. Cleveland 0-2. And that's probably not much of a surprise to anybody. The Minnesota Twins improved to 2-0 as they defeat the Oakland Athletics 7-1. A's got a run in the second on Mark McGwire's first home run. Took a 1-0 lead into the sixth inning. And Eric Plunk was doing very well, but he started to tire, and then Gene Nelson couldn't get anybody out in relief. And the Twins put up 5 runs. Ken Herbeck, his second home run of the season, capped that off, and the Twins win it 7-1. The New York Yankees and the Detroit Tigers. This time the Tigers win and even the series a game apiece, 5-4. Yankees got up to a 3-0 lead in the beginning. 2-run homer from Wayne Tollison after an error on the shortstop Trammell. Gave him a 3-0 lead after 2, but then the fourth, an error on the center fielder Henderson and a couple of doubles, and then finally a Larry Herndon home run put the Tigers ahead to stay 4-3. Winning pitcher was Dan Petrie. The save went to Eric King, and Tommy John, the tough luck loss. Seattle Mariners and the, oops, that was the 7th game. Where did the box score go for the 8th? Did I not print that? I thought I did. Thought I had printed that box score. Maybe I didn't. I thought I had. Let me double check it. I thought I had printed that box score. Should have. Don't know where it is. Can't find that box score. That's weird. But in doing, I have recaps for everything as well. So the Mariners did beat the A's 3-0. Mike Moore bested John Candelaria. Mickey Brantley with a homer. Nunez his first save. Perhaps the game of the day that I wish was on video. The Boston Red Sox and the Milwaukee Brewers back and forth all the way. Brewers put up 4 runs in the first against Al Nipper. Rob Deere had a big home run in that one. Wade Boggs led the game with a home run for Boston, his first. It stayed 4-1 until it's actually stayed 4-2 until the 7th rather. Boston put 5 runs up in the top of the 7th, but Milwaukee countered with 6 runs of their own in the bottom of the 7th to take a 10-7 lead. Red Sox did get a run in the 8th to make it 10-8, but the Brewers held on for the victory. Mark Clear gets the win, Plesac the save, and Joe Sambito, who faced 3 batters and gave them all up, couldn't get anybody out. He took the loss. But that might have been the most exciting game of the day that was played. So again, those are the box scores, or the score sheets. These are the recaps that the computer did for those games. So those games were played on April the 8th. All right, now we're ready for baseball here. Final game of April the 8th. And the game for April the 9th that'll be on video is Chicago White Sox 2-0 against the Kansas City Royals 0-2. And that'll be something to see if the score sheet I was missing is probably underneath here, isn't it? It sure is. There's the Seattle, California score sheet. Was on the flip side of this one. That's why I couldn't find it. This is the score sheet from the game I played. 3-0, your final. Seattle wins it 3-0. Mickey Brantley got a home run in the 9th. It was really kind of anticlimactic. One of the big things that happened in the second inning is the Angels were behind 1-0. Jack Howell led off with a double, and then 1 out later, Schofield singled, but Howell got thrown out trying to score 8-2, and that kind of put the kibosh on anything that the Angels were going to try to do. Mike Moore went 8 shutout innings, got the win. Edward Nunez got the save. Candelaria took the loss. That's why I couldn't find the score sheet, because it's on the back page of this. Because when I print these, I print them front and back, so I try to get, minimize the paper usage. So that's what's going on with that. Okay, so now you're caught up. We got our Oriole colored dice. And Scott McGregor will be taking the mound. Pitcher-catcher quotient for McGregor, he's a -1, and the catcher Kennedy is a 0, so he is a -1. And up here, Correa is a +5. He's a +7. Slot's a +1, but +5 is as high as it'll go. Since the pitchers don't have their balks and wild pitch ratings on the cards, I went to the computer ahead of time and wrote down these ratings. Correa, no balk, but a 20 wild pitch. McGregor, a 19 balk and a 7 wild pitch. Ballpark effects. Singles are 1-3 for both lefties and righties. Home runs are 1-11 for both lefties and righties in Memorial Stadium. All right, so let me fix the focus because I put too much paperwork in there. Thank you for letting me know that. Let me see if that fixes it. Hopefully it did. All right. So we are ready to go. Scott McGregor and O-B McDowell. I've got the game up on the computer. Hello, JC. But to keep up with the chat and everything, to see what you guys are seeing and make sure nothing's getting out of place, what I'm going to do is actually I'm just going to play the game. I'm just going to score the game after it's over on the computer. I'm not going to try to go back and forth. So, all right. So Dale Ford is the home plate umpire. Okay. All right. Good to go. All right, here's McDowell against McGregor. Lefty on lefty again. Both starting pitchers are terrible. So don't expect a pitching duel here at all. Hello, Marlon. How you doing? I just played inside pitch not that long ago, Marlon, but you know, I've done that for quite a while, so it's time to move on. Tabby is in the room, but she's in a little covey area behind me on a guest mattress that's in there, and she just likes to lay on that, and she just likes to hear the sound of, I guess, of me rolling the dice. So, hello, Dav. How you doing? All right, we're ready to go. McGregor to McDowell. That's a 2-7. McDowell left-handed struck him out. And that's where McGregor needs to live, is on the batter cards, I do believe. So McDowell's out on strikes. And that's going to send up. Let me make sure. Check one more time for focus, just to make sure we're not missing. That's the best I can do, I think, right there. On a live, that's the best it's going to get. It's better when it's recorded. I have a clearer picture when I record, which is probably what I'll do most of these times, but I just felt like doing this. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock will be the NBC game of the week, 1973, Pittsburgh Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. All right, McGregor, 5-7 to right-hander Fletcher. 5-7 is ground ball, second base X. We got our first X chance. Rick Burleson, not very good, a 4.E18. So makes you wonder why they stuck with Burleson so long, but they did, I think. So 4.E18. And I'm going to not show the charts because I don't want to screw up the focus. I'll just read them off to you. 4-4, he needs a 7 or higher to get to this. And he does. 12 will do it. It's a G2. And for an E18 at second base, he's got to avoid 3, 13, and 18. And that's 12. He just barely did. But he did. That's all that counts. There's no 12 there. There's 13, but no 12. So good play for Burleson as he makes a tough hop on Fletcher's ground ball. And now with 2 away and the base is clear, we will go to Pete O'Brien. Yeah, I'm done, Marlon. I'm done with inside pitch. I finished that replay, so I'm done with inside pitch for quite a while. Hello, Jeremy. How you doing? Hello, Philip. Here's O'Brien, 3-5 to a lefty. It's a fly ball to right field. And how about that? Scott McGregor goes 1-2-3 here in the top of the first. Very surprising. But McGregor gets through the first unscathed. There's a little stuffy in here. I'm going to need to turn the air on to get some breeze in here. So if you hear rumbling in the background, that's what it is. Ed Correa, the right-hander, is finishing up those warm-up tosses. And DH Alan Wiggins steps to the plate. Switch hitter, batting from the left side. Correa, 4-3, switch hitter batting left. 4-3 is a ballpark blast. Wiggins has weak power, so it wouldn't be a home run anyway. That's a 12, but ballpark is 11, so it's going to be a fly ball to right. So even if he had the power, it would have failed on the ballpark check. So Wiggins is retired on the fly ball to Ruben Sierra, and there's one away. Here's Rick Burleson. Correa, 6'10 to a right-hander. That's a catcher X. We are looking at Don Slott. He's a 3E10. Nobody's on base. There's no chances of pass balls or anything like that. 3 and a 12 is going to be a P/F, so we've got a foul out coming up. That is a 9, and he is an E10. And there is no 9, so it's a foul out to Don Slott for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for Cal Ripken. Correa 1-6 to Ripken. It's a ground ball to Fletcher at short. And despite the fact that both pitchers have horrible earned run averages, they go 1-2-3 in the first, but I don't expect that to last. Not when Correa has an ERA of 7.59 and McGregor's is 6.64. I mean, something's going to have to give here shortly. All right, here is Pete Incaviglia. I believe he struck out 3 times on opening day. He's trying to atone for that. Now he gets to face a lefty, so maybe he'll do better against the lefty. His column 1 is loaded versus lefty. 3-8, 3-8 is another strikeout. So poor Incaviglia. He just keeps striking out. Here's Ruben Sierra, switch hitter. Turn around bat right-handed. That's a 2-11. 2-11 is a ballpark single. It only goes to 3, though. So that's going to be, 2-11 is going to be as a right-handed hitter, he's going to line it to short for out number 2. Brings up the third baseman, Larry Parrish. Usually DHs most of the time, but is playing third base in this game. 4-10 against the right-hander. Ground ball third base X. That is Mr. Ray Knight. He's a 4E23. 4E23. 4 and a 3. That's going to get by for a base hit. That's going to be an SI. SI2, but nobody's on base. It will be a base hit for Parrish. Checking the error, 23, and that is an 8 as a third baseman. E23, there is no 8. This is going to be a single for Larry Parrish. So a 2-out single for Parrish. He's not going to be held, not going to go anywhere. And that brings up the catcher, Don Slaught. But the first havoc roll, now we've got somebody on base. Nothing going on. McGregor to Slaught. 4-6 right-handed is a walk. So all of a sudden, 2-out activity for the Rangers. And they may have something going. We're now in a clutch situation as D. Buechele is up. Runner in scoring position and 2 outs. So Buechele has a clutch hit right here at 1-4 that could turn from an out to a hit in this clutch situation. To 1-2, however, which is a ballpark blast. It goes to 11. That's a 1. It's gone. Steve Buechele, look at it again, a 1-2, and it's a ballpark blast. And the home runs go to 11. That's a 1. It's gone. So Steve Buechele, a 3-run homer. All this with 2 outs and the bases empty. McGregor got the first 2 outs, then an innocent single and on a failed range play by Ray Knight, and a walk to Slaught, and Buechele goes deep. He had 13 homers on the 87 season. He gets his first one right here. So the Rangers take a 3-0 lead. McGregor now 1-6 to Brower, struck him out to end the inning, but a profitable one for the Rangers. 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the second. It's Texas 3 and Baltimore nothing. But Ed Correa is not exactly Cy Young, so I expect the Orioles to get some runs as well. In fact, you may need 7 or 8 runs to win this game. Here is Eddie Murray. 2-11 for Murray. He's going to pop it up to the first baseman, O'Brien. 1 away. He's going to bring up Fred Lynn. He had that big 3-run homer on opening day that gave the Orioles the victory. He's trying to repeat that performance here. 3-7, and he's going to not hit a home run, but it's a 1-17 double. That'll work. A 1-out double for Fred Lynn. He will not be held. And here comes Ray Knight. Nothing on the habit. Correa to Knight, 6-6 to a righty is a walk. Now Correa getting in trouble. First and second. Only 1 out for Terry Kennedy. He homered on opening day, so maybe he can do something with a blast that could tie the game. 1-3. Now he's going to line it to first. Snagged by O'Brien. Everybody gets back safely. 2 down, though. And it's up to John T-Bone Shelby if the Orioles are to break through. It's a 2-3, and he's not. He's going to ground it to O'Brien again. He steps on the bag, and the inning's over. So the Orioles miss an opportunity there. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. At the end of 2, it's 3-0 still in favor of the Rangers here at Memorial Stadium. And we're back to the top of the order. Odeby McDowell. He struck out his first time up. Thanks to everyone that's watching and spending part of your Friday evening with me. I usually go to a high school football games on Friday night, but my friend that I usually go with is out of town, and I didn't feel like going by myself, so I said I'll stay here and play Strat. Not a bad consolation. McGregor, 6-4 to McDowell against a left-hander will be a leadoff walk, and those are dangerous. Leadoff walks are definitely dangerous. McDowell has a chance to get the jump. It is a -1, so if he gets the lead, it would be a 1-16. Still worth going for, certainly on a 1-16. So he needs a 4 or a 6 to get the lead. Can't get the lead, so he won't try to go anywhere. He will be held, of course, obviously. And here's Fletcher. McGregor, 2-6. Fletcher, the lefty. Look at this. 1-2 is a double. 3-20 is a single. 2 stars. Runners are at the corners. And now we're getting some of the offense that I thought we'd get, but I thought we'd get it from both sides. Right now it's just coming from Texas. Fletcher will have to be held. He's got the asterisk there, but they will not try to send him or anything. They'll try to get the lead. Orioles down 3-0. Really need to put the kibosh on this. They're bringing the infield in. McGregor, 5-7 to a left-hander. That's a ground ball shortstop X. Ground ball shortstop X. That is Cal Ripken. Ripken is a 2E20. Now the runner, Fletcher, was being held, so that means Ripken was responsible. He drops to a 3E20 because he was holding the runner. So it's actually going to be a 3E20. 3-13, let's see if that makes any difference. 3-13, the infield, of course, was in. So a 3-13 is a G2. And this is a 14, and he's a 20. There is no 14, it's a G2. G2, G2, first and third with the infield in. You get the batter. It says batter out, runner advance, only a 4. So the ground out is going to go 6-3. McDowell had to hold. Fletcher will take second base. Because with the infield in, there's no chance of a double play. You have to go for the batter, and any runner not forced, or any runner that's has a base in front of him does move up. So, and technically he was forced because the batter forces him to go to second. So now runners at second and third with 1 out for Pete Incaviglia, the strikeout king. And McGregor could definitely use one. We get a 1-11, but instead he gets a walk. So he's going to walk the bases loaded for Ruben Sierra. Infield for Sierra. They're playing back for the double play. He has a lot of A's on his cards. So they're going to try to turn the double play. That's a 2, balk or pass ball. That's a 2 for a balk chance, and McGregor, unfortunately for him, he's a 19 balk rating. So McGregor has just balked a run in. McGregor has balked the run in. That'll put runners at second and third. Now the double play is no longer an option. Run is in. It's 4-0. And we got to bring the infield in now against Sierra. McGregor to Sierra. 6-8, and that's a single to left field. Single to left field. We'll see if they try to score the runner from second base. Fletcher's going to score automatically. Incaviglia, who was at second, only runs at a 10, so they will hold him at third base. The single to left. Gerhardt's a +1, but you're only talking about a 1-11. And with only 1 out, why risk it? So Sierra reaches here. Now the Oriole bullpen is starting to get some activity. Right-hander Tony Arnold. Tony Arnold is loosing in the Oriole bullpen. He's not very good either. 0-0 with a 5.77 ERA. But he is in the bullpen in case they need to go to him, because McGregor gives up a 6th run. He will be fatigued. Right now, first and third, rather, they have to hold Sierra because he's got the asterisk. So they have to hold him. Hey, Tom, how you doing in case I missed you? All right, so the infield is in with runners at the corners. McGregor to Parrish. Needs a strikeout. 6-11. Doesn't get it. He's a ground ball first base X. That's Eddie Murray. He's a 2E10, but he is holding the runner, so he's a 3E10. So Eddie Murray, a 3E10. So on a 3, that's a 3 and a 1. That's going to get by him for a base hit. That was a 1. 3 and a 1. That's not good at all. That's an SI2. So that's going to score Incaviglia to make it 6-0. It's going to move Sierra to third base. And that's going to be it for McGregor. Let's make sure there's no error. Murray is an E10. So he's got to avoid 11, 15, and 18. And that's a 15. So he does not avoid it. That is an error. And that will bring Sierra in on the E3. So Parrish reaches on the single and goes to second on the error by Murray. So things get from bad to worse. It is now 7-0. And that is all from McGregor. That is absolutely all from McGregor. 7-0. And McGregor just hits an early shower. So here's Tony Arnold making his first appearance of the season. And he can't do any worse than what McGregor just did. And now runner at second with only one out for Don Slaught. Parrish not being held. So Arnold to Slaught. 5-4, and that's an in-home run chance, 1-7, but that's an 11. It will be a double instead. Don Slaught, an RBI double. That's the 8th run. It is charged to McGregor. It is an earned run because the error just moved the runner up. So all these runs are earned because of that double. So McGregor is going to give up 7 earned runs in just 3 1/3 innings, or 2 1/3 innings rather. 2 1/3 innings gives up 7 earned runs. That's not good at all. It is now an 8-0 ball game. Maybe I should have recorded this because this blowout, I didn't think we'd run into this. Arnold now 5-12, ground ball shortstop X. That's Ripken. He's a 2 E20. 2 and 18 is ground ball A. G1. He'll get to that. And that's an 8, and he is an E20. There is no 8. It's a ground ball to short, and runner has to hold. 2 down. And that'll bring up the 9th man to bat in the inning, Bob Brower. Philip Tabby is next to me in the little covey area over there. She may come out later. We'll see. She's quiet, so I don't want to disturb her right now. Arnold, 3-6 to Brower, is a single to center field. Slaught only runs at a 10. He was not being held, makes him 11. 2 outs makes him a 13. Center fielder arm, Fred Lynn's a 0. 1-13. You might as well go ahead and send him. You're playing with house money. And he's in there safely. He is in there safely. It is now 9-0. And they have now batted around as McDowell, who led off the inning, is coming back up. So now I got to adjust the score sheet for the batted around portion. So here is McDowell. He walked to lead off the inning. 4-5, and he's going to pop it up to third, mercifully ending the inning. For the Rangers, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. And they didn't leave, they left 1 on. 6 runs on 5 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. So we go to the bottom of the third, and Ed Correa has inherited a 9-0 lead. So if you can't win with 9-0, I don't know what to tell you. Hello, Doug. Sorry you're in here on a blowout, but that's the way the dice are rolling. All right, Ken Gerhardt hadn't even hit yet. Most of the McDowell's already hit 3 times, and Ken Gerhardt is yet to come to the plate. Correa, 6-4. That's a ballpark single chance, 1-3. It's a 6. So since it fails, we're going with the strikeout. 1 away. I don't like to use the L6 unless the original result is either a hit or it affects base running. Since the bases are empty, I'm going back to the original result. Here's Wiggins, 5'11", switch hitter, ground ball pitcher X. He is a 2E38. 2E38 for Correa. Doing 10, he'll get to that. E38 is a pitcher. He's got to avoid Boy, the whole mess of numbers you got to avoid. That's a 16. E38 16 is a 2-base error. Super advanced chart E38 and a 16 is a 2-base error. So Ed Correa, a 2-base error, and Wiggins will move to second base on the E1. They are not holding Wiggins on, of course, with the score being what it is. And that brings up Mr. Burleson. Let me make sure that didn't mess anything up there. All right, here's Burleson. Correa to Burleson. Correa 2-7 to Burleson. Ground ball third base A. That's going to hold the runner 2 down for Cal Ripken. Correa 2-9, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left. At the end of 3 complete, it is 9-0 Texas. And the Orioles don't have a whole lot of bullpen arms. They do have Bell, who was a starter, Schmidt, who's a part-time starter, so they've got some length there if they need it. Arnold may just go 1 more inning, and they might just turn it over to one of those long relief guys. They may have to do something like that. Save their bullpen. Not wear them out all in one day. All right, so Scott Fletcher is up. So, sorry this one couldn't be more entertaining, but the dice are what the dice are. 5-2, it's a line out to third base, and that's out number 1. Out number 1, and that brings up Pete O'Brien, who's all this offense by Texas. Pete O'Brien's 0 for 2. 1-5, but not anymore. That's a straight up, as clear as can be, as someone once said, clean as a baby's ass. 1-5, home run right there. Pete O'Brien. He says, take that 0 for 2. Home run, Pete O'Brien is now 10-0 in favor of Texas. And this is, if it was Little League, it'd be the mercy rule, but there is no mercy here. There is absolutely no mercy here. Absolutely no mercy whatsoever. Hello, Mr. RJL. Unfortunately, you've tuned into a massacre. Here is, let's write it in here, Pete O'Brien. And here is Pete Incaviglia. 3-8, and he strikes out again. So 3 things are certain in life: death, taxes, and a Pete Incaviglia strikeout. So there's 2 away for Ruben Sierra. Arnold 1-8 to Sierra is a walk, just what they really needed. They want to try to get Arnold through the inning and then turn it over to one of their long relievers, probably Bell. Or it might be Schmidt. We'll have to wait and see. Here's Parrish. Arnold to Parrish, 6-10. Catcher X. Runner is on base, so it's possible there could be a pass ball of some sort. Harry Kennedy's a 4. That's a 9. A 4 and a 9 for a catcher. 4 and a 9 is a P/P. And he is an E4, and that's a 12. There's no 12. P/P, though. It's going to be pass ball. So pass ball moves the runner to second base. And unlike inside pitch, no matter what the score is, we still roll the havoc rolls. They don't go away. Arnold, 5-7. Ground ball second base X. That is Burleson. He's a 4 E18. That's a 17. He'll get to it. Got to avoid on the E18. He has to avoid 3, 13, and 18. And he does. So good play for Burleson to mercifully end the inning. And Tony Arnold is done for the night. So the home run from O'Brien makes it a 10-0 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Arnold is going to, let's see, 2 1/3. And so it's a 1 2/3 innings for Arnold. And then we'll figure out who the next pitcher is going to be. Who wants to take one for the team? So Ed Correa, of course, he's not feeling any pain. He got a 10-run lead to work with. All right, here is Correa to Eddie Murray. 5'9", switch hitter, ground ball to second. Easy play for the second baseman, Bouchel. Usually plays third, but he's playing second tonight. Freddie Lynn, 1-8 for Lynn, struck him out. 2 down for Ray Knight. "5-8" to a right-hander is a walk. So Ray Knight has walked twice. Not a good base runner, will not be held. And here's Terry Kennedy. Correa to Kennedy. 4-10 lefty. That's an in-home run chance, 1-14. That's a 10. He's got normal power, so Terry Kennedy, his second home run of the season. Orioles were known for hitting home runs in 1987. Makes it a 10-2 game. Not that it gets anybody in Memorial Stadium excited, but at least gets them off the schneid. And it ruins Correa's nice outing at this point. Here's T-Bone Shelby, 4-5 switch hitter, struck him out to end the inning. 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors and nobody left. At the end of 4, it's 10-2 in favor of Texas. All right, new pitcher for the Orioles. Let's see who they're going to turn to. Who can give them the most length? It appears to be Eric Bell. He's a starter majority of the time, but he doesn't start in the beginning of the season. So Eric Bell, in fact, he starts on April the 12th. This is the 8th, so he's got, some ways to go before he starts. They're going to get Eric Bell at least a few innings in, if nothing else, just to save their bullpen. So Eric Bell going to get his feet wet in relief before he makes a start. And he'll be facing Don Slaught for the Rangers. Slaught has walked and doubled. 3-8 against the left-hander. 3-8 is a strikeout. So Bell comes in and strikes out Slaught to start his outing. Here's Bouchel. 1-3 to the lefty is a ballpark single check. 1-3, that's a 5. So he will line it to short. 2 down for Bob Brower. And this one I do have a liner to short because the alternative was a single. It was not an out. So I go with the default liner to short in those situations. 1-5 to a lefty. Struck him out. So boy, Eric Bell, 1-2-3 inning for Eric Bell. Go figure. Eric Bell had a 5.45 ERA, but pitching pretty good here in the 5th. At least they try to get him at least maybe a couple of innings, maybe 3 innings, and stave off some of the wearing out of the bullpen. So Ken Gerhart, left fielder, will lead off. He struck out his first chance against Correa. This is Correa's fatigue, and he's got a 5 here, so this is his fatigue inning. 2-8, and that's a strikeout. So Correa, yet another strikeout. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 5th strikeout for Correa. And now we go to the top of the order for Alan Wiggins. He reached on a 2-base error by Correa last time up. 3-7, and he will ground it to first. Pete O'Brien once again. Another ground out to O'Brien. 2 down for Burleson. 2-3, and that's a strikeout again. 6 strikeouts for Correa. He's going to keep going. He has got full endurance after a 1-2-3 inning, so he will keep going. We go to the top of the 6th. Still 10-2. And Odeby McDowell will lead us off. He has struck out, walked, and popped to third. Bell, 5-8 to a lefty, fly ball to right. So Bell has retired all 4 he has faced. We've had everything. We had a balk and a run. We've had a bat and a round in the 3rd inning. So A lot of stuff going on. Here's Fletcher. 6-7 to a right-hander. Ground ball, second base X again. That's Burleson for E18. 4-19 is good. E18. E18 and a 14. Make sure we're no problems with that. E18 and there's a 13 but no 14. So good play. 2 down. And that's 5 in a row. All 5 retired by Eric Bell. All 5 he's faced. Here's O'Brien. He homered last time up. 3-5 to a lefty is a fly ball to right field. So maybe Eric Bell should have been the one to start this game, but Cal Ripken Sr. had McGregor. In fact, McGregor will move to the bullpen later in the season. I guess they figured his starting days were pretty much over. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Again, Correa, full endurance, as he had nothing against his point of weakness. And here is Cal. Cal is 0 for 2. That's a 6-5 to a right-hander. Struck him out. Strikeout number 7. He's not tired because he has nothing against his point of weakness. So he's hitting those dots, but he's not tired yet. Here's Murray. 1-8 for Murray. That's a fly to center. 2 down for Freddie Lynn. 3-6 for Lynn. Struck him out. So, boy, Correa can keep going. He still has nothing against his point of weakness. Seems to be getting stronger as the game goes along. So we go to the 7th. Still 10-2. The last 2 innings have been in favor of the pitcher. Here's Incavilla, Mr. Strikeout. Start at the top of the 7th. 5-6 to a right-hander. Struck. Even if it's not Incavilla's card, they know Incavilla is batting. So the cards know. I mean, the dice know. So 5-6. Struck him out. Got the hat trick. So even the dice know who's batting. So they know where to fall in the pitcher card. Here's Sierra. 1-6 to a lefty. He's going to line it to third. And how about that? Bell has retired all 8 he has faced so far. Here's Larry Parrish. 1-6 to a lefty. Struck him out. He struck out. How about that? 9 up and 9 down for Eric Bell in relief. How do you like that? We go to the 7th inning stretch. I think I'm going to stretch. Take a quick stretch break and check and see what Tabby's doing. See if she wants to come out or not. Of course, Ed Correa still going strong. He's not going anywhere. We are in the 7th inning, so if you want to pinch hit, we may be starting to see some pinch hitters coming up. Maybe probably for Ken Gerhardt at the very least. You might see a Jim Dwyer or Larry Sheets coming to the game to pinch hit. But 7th inning stretch, you can sing your Take Me Out to the Ball games if you like. I'm going to tempt fate and go check on Tabby and see if she wants to come out here. Tabby? 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 All right, so she has finally made an appearance. She wasn't too happy about it. I think she was wanting to take a nap, but here she is. She's not too happy about it, apparently. Let's see how long she sits here, whether she gets up and runs away. She's going to her food bowl, and I took her away from her food bowl, so I know she wasn't happy about that. Right, Tabby? Making noises? Why are you making noises? Tabby. All right, for all the Tabby fans out there, you got your Tabby fix in. Let's move her out of the way and try to get this game over with before the score gets any worse. I know I'm going to have to probably refocus this and do everything else, but we'll see. When you're through the 7th inning stretch, looks like the focus is still halfway decent. I guess I can try to fluff it up a little bit. All right. So it'll be Ray Knight, but there will be a pinch hitter coming up for Gerhardt. And it will be Larry Sheets. And he will take over in left field. He's E8. And he runs at a 9. So Larry Sheets. So it will be, actually he may not get a chance to bat. It's Knight, Kennedy, and Shelby. So Sheets may not get a chance to bat yet, but I'm going to still bring him in for Gerhardt anyway, just to give him some playing time. But Ray Knight will lead it off. All right. Correa to Knight. 6-8. That's a 1-3 triple. That's a 16. It will be a double. And now the Texas bullpen might have to start stirring because that's the first knock against Correa's weakness, and he might be needing some relief. They do have Dale Mahorsic, a right-hander, loosening in the bullpen. Now Terry Kennedy is up. So barring a double play, Larry Sheets will bat this inning. 2-3 for Kennedy is a ballpark single check, 1-3, but that's an 18. So he will line it to second base for out number 1. And that's going to take us to T-Bone Shelby. And actually, we're going to get a pinch hitter for Shelby as well. Jim Washer and Dwyer is going to pick up a bat and hit and stay in the game, play right field. So when it's 10-2, you might as well start emptying your bench. So Jim Dwyer. He's a 3, a +1, E1, running at a 12. So Jim Dwyer has picked up a bat, and he will pinch hit, stay in the game and play right field for T-Bone Shelby. Correa with Knight at second base and 1 out. There's a 1, so it's a wild pitch chance. Correa's wild pitch rating's a 20, so it's automatic. So he will wild pitch Knight to third base. Infield's back. They don't care about the run. So the pitch to pinch hitter Dwyer. 6-8 to the lefty is a walk. Walked him. And that will bring up the other pinch hitter, Larry Sheets. 1. So again, if we have it is a wild pitch, and he will wild pitch in a run. So Correa just seems to have lost it all at one time. It's 2 wild pitches in the inning. And he's on the verge of being fatigued out of here. 2 now is a chance of a balk or a pass ball. Chance for a balk, but Correa has a 0 balk rating. Correa 5-8 to the lefty, struck him out. So the number 9 position is struck out all 3 times. Gerhardt twice and now Sheets once. And they're going to try to let Correa finish the inning and then bring in somebody to pitch the 8th and 9th. Runner at second, 2 outs of a 10-3 game. Correa 2-7 to Wiggins, and that's a ground ball to third to end the inning. So if the Orioles, a run, a hit, no errors, and a man left. At the end of 7, and that will do it for Correa, he's going to go 7 innings. At the end of 7, it is Texas 10 and the Orioles 3. As we go to the 8th, that will be it for Eric Bell as well. They don't want to wear him out before he has to start in 4 days. So Bell pitches 3 innings, didn't give up anything, struck out 4. I mean, that's about as good as you're going to get. And the new pitcher will be Dave Schmidt. So Dave Schmidt, the right-hander, will be coming on to face Slot, Buechele, and Brower. Numbers on Correa He's going to go 7 innings, give up 3 runs. They were all earned. Total hits he gave up 1, 2, 3. Just 3 hits. No singles. He gave up no singles. He gave up 2 doubles and a home run. No singles. He walked 2, and they were both Ray Knight. And he walked Dwyer, so that's 3. And he struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts. And of course, he's in line to get the win. So we go to the top of the 8th. And we got to get Dave Schmidt's card out here so he can get busy with the pitching. Dave Schmidt. And Schmidt on the 87 season. 10-5, 3.77 ERA. He did some starting and relieving. So they just want him to pitch the 8th and 9th inning and not have to go to Williamson or Ossie. That's pretty much the goal there. And Dwyer's in right field. Sheets is in left field. Rangers sticking with the guys they have. No changes for them. And that'll bring up Don Slaught. Hello, Frank. Thomas, if I missed any of you guys. Sorry it couldn't be a closer game, but it's 10-3. We go to the 8th. Schmidt, 2-8 to Slaught. Grounds it to short. 1 away. That'll bring up Steve Buechele. That's a 6-11. That's a ground ball first base X. That's Eddie Murray. He's a 2E10. 2 and a 6. Let's check the 2 and a 6. He should get to that. 2 and a 6 is a G2. Nobody's on base. It really doesn't matter about the G2. E10. And that is a 14. E10. There is an 11 and a 15, but no 14. So Murray will make the play and flip to Schmidt covering, scoring at 3-1. If you're scoring this game at home, you might be having some issues. All right, here's Bob Brower. Brower now. 2 out spaces clear. And they're gonna pull Brower and give somebody else a chance to hit. Rangers bench. They're going to go to switch hitting catcher Gino Petralli. He has not had an at-bat in the season yet. So Gino Petralli will stay in the game to DH. Gino Petralli. They're carrying 3 catchers, Porter, Petralli, and Slaught. So Slaught has been doing the bulk of the catching in the first 2 games. So time to give... We could have given this to Porter too, but we'll just give it to Petralli for now. He will get the call to pinch hit. Schmidt, 6-8 to a switcher to bang left as they fly to center field. And that's going to end the inning. So Schmidt takes care of business. The Oriole bullpen in 4 innings has given up nothing. Or not the last 2, not the first 2, but Bell and Schmidt have combined to throw 4 shutout innings. And of course, Schmidt will finish out the game. So the new DH is Gino Petralli. They gave Brower the rest of the game off. Now we need a new pitcher for Texas since we went to the bullpen for Correa. And let's see, with the score 10-3, they might go to somebody that's not quite as effective normally. Don't want to burn your best guys. They're going to go to Mike Tenderloin out of the bullpen. Loined, 1.5, 6.10 ERA, or else you can call him Loincloth, I guess. Maybe it'd be another good name for him. Mike Loined. Mike Tenderloin, and the Orioles are going to try to see if he can be carved up. We don't know. We'll get a pinch hitter for Rick Burleson. We're not going to let him hit. He's being taken out of there for a better hitter, which probably is anybody on the Orioles bench right now is a better hitter. So they will go with... Boy, who do we want to go with here? I'm going to give Rene Gonzalez an at-bat. He's 267 hitter, and he'll stay in the game. He'll stay in the game to play second base. So don't walk away, Rene Gonzalez. We'll get the call. And at second base, he is a 3E32. Running at a 12. All right, so Rene Gonzalez will lead off against Mike Loind. Loind, 1-7. Whoops, over this way. 1-7 is a single for Rene Gonzalez. So a leadoff single for Gonzalez. And that will bring up Cal Ripken. Ripken 0 for 3 in the game. 5-6. Not anymore. 1-13 is a double. That's a 16 to be a single, 2 stars. And that'll move Gonzalez to third base. Runners at the corners, nobody out. And you got to wonder, how long will Bobby Valentine go with Mike Loind in this situation? And they got a 6-run lead, but you don't, a 7-run lead rather, but you don't want to get, too weird with it. Infield back looking for the double play. 210 on Eddie Murray is a split chance on the triangle. 1-2 is a single. Anything else he lines to second. That's an 8, so he's going to line it to second. 1 away. Michelle hauls it in. That brings up Freddie Lynn. Doubled his first time up, struck out the last 2 times. 6-7 from Loin. Ground ball second base X. That is Buechele. He's a 3E5. Nobody's being held, so they keep their ratings. 3 and a 5. That could get through. A 3 and a 5 is a G3 pound, but nobody's being held, so the pound doesn't come into play. And now we're checking for the E5 at second base. He's got to avoid 16 and 18, which he does. But it's a G3, so the runner's going to advance. That means that Gonzalez will score. Ripken takes second base. Ray Knight, or Fred Lynn rather, with an RBI ground out. Making it a 10-4 good buddy game. Get your CBs out. Here's Ray Knight. Knight has walked twice and doubled. Loined to Knight. 2-6, and that's a ground ball to short to end the inning. Orioles get a run on, they do it on 2 hits. No errors and 1 left. We go to the 9th, it's 10-4 Texas. And I guess they will let Loin finish out the game, as the Orioles will let Schmidt finish out his game. So Odabe McDowell will be your hitter. He is 0 for 3 with a walk. 3-3 for McDowell. It's a clutch base hit, but we're not in a clutch situation. It's a ground ball to third. And Ray Knight handles it 1 away. Here's Fletcher. And they're going to bring Fletcher back and empty the bench again. Might as well get some more guys a chance to hit. They're going to bring in shortstop Curtis Wilkerson. If I can find his card. Where are you? There he is. Curtis Wilkerson will come in and pinch hit. Stay in the game to play shortstop. Wilkerson. I mean, when it's 10-4, this is the kind of stuff you need to do to get some players some at-bats that they would not normally get. He's a 3-44 at shortstop. So Wilkerson will pinch hit for Fletcher. Stay in the game and play shortstop. Schmidt to Wilkerson. 2-2, and that's a ground ball to third. So again, Ray Knight makes the play. 2 down for Pete O'Brien. 5-2, it's a ground ball back to Schmidt, and that's going to end the inning. So how about that? If you take away the first 4 innings, the Rangers have been no-hit. From innings 5 through 9, it's a 5-inning no-hitter. In fact, it's a 5-inning perfect game by the bullpen, by Bell and Schmidt. It's a 5-inning perfect game from Bell and Schmidt in the bullpen. Wasted, but nonetheless, a great outing. 10-4, we go to the bottom of the 9th, and Mike Loind will be out. And they do have left-handed activity. They do have the Wild Thing, Mitch Williams, just in case Lloyd runs into trouble. All right, Terry Kennedy will lead things off against Lloyd. 3-7, and that's a 1-18 single, and there it is, a base hit for Terry Kennedy. He will get the base hit, and that brings up Jim Dwyer. He had a pinch hit walk his only time up. 4-11 to a lefty is a fly ball left field X. That's Incaviglia. He's a 4E16. Maybe I should have put a better left fielder in there. Didn't think about that while I was doing all the other changes. 4-15, though, he might get away with it. 4-15 is actually an F2, but you got to worry about the E16. He's got to avoid 4, 6, 12, 13, and 17. And that is a 14, and he is an E16. Nope, 12 and 13 are errors, but not 14. So a shaky play, but the play was made by Incaviglia. So one away. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, 1973, NBC Game of the Week, Pirates and the Cardinals. That'll be 11 o'clock on the AM on the East Coast. Here's Larry Sheets. 4-4, and that is a strikeout. So this position has struck out all 4 times, twice by Gerhardt and now twice by Sheets. Struck out twice. So we're down to Alan Wiggins. Last chance is Wiggins. Wiggins will be called back, and we'll get a pinch hitter for Wiggins. We will have a pinch hitter for Wiggins, and the pinch hitter will be Lee Lacy. And this is the DH slot, so even if it goes extra innings, which you know it's not, he would just stay in the game to be DH. So Lee Lacy, and Lacy is a 244 hitter. He will be pinch hitting with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th against Mike Lloyd. 1-4, and that's a 1-3 double. 4-20 is a single 2 stars. That's what we got, a single 2 stars. And that's going to move the runners to the corners. Game's not over yet. Here is Rene Gonzalez. He singled his first time up as a pinch hitter. Five, 7, ground ball second base X. That is Spouchel. He's a 3E5. 3-2. That's going to get through for a base hit. 3-2 gets through for a base hit. It's going to be an SI2, so that means the run's going to score here, and the other runner's going to go to third. Question is there going to be an error to go along with it? He's an E5, so he's got to avoid 16 and 18, which he does. So it's a single, and it's going to put a run on the board. It's now 10-5. And Cal Ripken is your batter. Lloyd is battling fatigue. He's going to try to finish the game. 6-12, fly ball left field extra, back to Incaviglia again. He's a 4. 4-4, that's going to drop in. 4-4 is a double 2 stars. So Gonzalez will have to hold at third base unless we have an error. But for here, it's a double. Lacy scores to make it 10-6. Checking for an error on the E16. That is an 18. E16, 18. There's no error. There's a 17 here for a 3-base error, but there's no 18. So the double will stand, and they will hold Gonzalez at third base, I would think. Well, wait a minute. It might. Well, no, you're not going to take a chance. You're down. You need base runners, so they're not going to do anything. But that's going to be it for Lloyd. He can't finish the game. They're going to have to go to the wild things, Mitch Williams, to try to finish this game out. So Lloyd couldn't get it done. He ends up going an inning and 2/3. And now the wild thing, Mitch Williams, will be coming on to face Eddie Murray. It is now 10-6. 10-6. With 2 on base. 10-7, 10-8. Batters 10-9. On deck is 10-10. So it is a save situation for the wild thing. So Mitch Williams coming on to try to put the game away. 8-6 with a 3.23 ERA is Mitch Williams. So Eddie Murray, runners are at second and third. Nobody's being held. Mitch Williams to Eddie Murray. Four, six, switch hitter batting right is a strikeout, and that's your ball game. So Mitch Williams gets one of the cheapest saves you can have. A third of an inning, he strikes out Eddie Murray, and he gets the save. Go figure. But it's a 10-6 ball game as the Orioles put up 2 in the ninth. 2 runs on 4 hits. They got the loincloth pretty good there in the ninth inning. 4 hits, 2 runs, and 2 left on. So the final score, Texas won the game real world 6-4. They won this game 10-6. Errors in the game won by the Orioles, and that was on Eddie Murray. So Eddie Murray made an error. On Texas, there was an error on... So I thought there was an error down here. Could have sworn there was. No, maybe there wasn't. I thought there was going to be an error on Incavilla, but no, it was an error on the pitcher, Correa. So each team made an error, as they did in real life. Hits. Let's see about the hits. 2, 7, 8. 8 hits. 10 runs on 8 hits. But there were several walks and an error mixed in. So 10 runs on 8 hits. And the Orioles get 1, 2, 3, 5, 9 hits. The Orioles actually out-hit them 9-8. But it's a 10-6 victory. So now both teams are 1-1 after 2 games. Winning pitcher is Ed Correa. The loser is Scott McGregor. And the save goes to Mitch Williams. Loind pitches an inning and 2/3. He's going to give up 3 runs. And he's going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. And let's see, no walks, 1 strikeout. So that's Loin's 1 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and a strikeout. Again, the story was the Oriole bullpen no hitting, perfect gaming the Rangers from the 5th through the 9th. But when you give up 10 runs in the first 4 innings, especially 9 in the first 3, you're kind of out of luck. Thought about using Floyd Rayford, but decided against it. So the thought was actually there, but I have my problems with Floyd Rayford, so I'm going to try to use him sparingly. And I'll have to look at his numbers to see how often he pinch hit. I'll try to give him as many at bats as he got in real world, but I'm not going to be happy about it. But anyway, thank you all for spending part of your Friday evening with me. Remember, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, it'll be the NBC game of the week, Cardinals and the Pirates. It'll be Jim Rooker against somebody, I believe his name was Mike Nagy for the Cardinals. I haven't really heard of him before. Don't know if he's related to Charles Nagy of the Indians or not. But that'll be the pitching matchup from St. Louis as the Cardinals try to put away the National League East from the Pirates and try to clinch that so that they can take on probably the Giants in the West, although the Dodgers might have something to say about it. So thank you all for tuning in. Tabby, a little upset that I pulled her out of her resting spot. Yeah, she's kind of back in there again resting, so I think she's a little perturbed with me, to be honest with you. I think she's not too happy about me pulling her out there and bringing her in there, but that's just the way it is. Next game on the channel for the 87 replay, we just finished April 8th. The April 8th games are done. April 9th game will be, in honor of ID Jester, it will be Mark Gubaza and the Kansas City Royals taking on the Chicago White Sox. So Mark Gubaza, otherwise known as AKA Mark Gubaza, will be on the mound for the Royals, who are 0-2. White Sox 2-0, taking the first 2 in Kansas City. So that's That's certainly something that was not expected. But that's the game for next time. Probably be sometime in the middle of the week. I don't know when because I got to play all the other games offline first, and that does take some time. So, like I said, I'm not in any rush. I'm just going to play at my own pace and see what's my beef with Rayford. I just didn't like him. Just one of those players that rubbed me the wrong way. That's all. Big fat Floyd Rayford. They called him Sugar Bear, but I just never really cared for him. So, anyway. And in the 87 season, let me get his card out. See what he hit in the 87 season. Where is he? There he is. There's big fat Floyd Rayford. He's hit 220 and 50 at bats. Floyd Rayford. As a catcher, he was a 4+2 arm and an E13. As a third baseman, he was a 4 E37. So he couldn't hit and he couldn't field. So he might have had a decent season earlier in the 80s, like 85 or something, but 87, nah, didn't do it. So Floyd Rayford, I'll try to get him his 50 at bats as best I can. I mean, I'll obviously start some games, so we'll start him there, but I'll try to give him. Maybe if he's facing a lefty reliever, maybe I can bring him in. I mean, he's got look at the anti-clutch on Floyd Rayford right here on the column 2 against lefties. Look at these anti-clutches. 3 straight 8, 9, 10 are anti-clutch. That's pathetic. Anti-clutch over here, anti-clutch over here, anti-clutch. So he's got 2 anti-clutches against righties, 3 anti-clutches against lefties. Enough said right there. That's why I don't like him. But anyway, I won't have to deal with him on the video anymore, at least not for a while, because we're going to be dealing with the Royals and the White Sox. That will be the next game in the 87 replay. That'll be on April the 9th, and on April the 10th we'll be in Oakland. It'll be the California Angels against the Oakland A's. That'll be the video for April the 10th. Then after that, I got to figure it out. I'm trying to show, mix it up and show, variety of teams, and then try to pick the best pitching matchups that I can. But I just could not pass up the opening start of Gubaza. So that's the game for next time on the video. And again, White Sox 2-0, Royals 0-2. So Gubaza under a little bit of pressure to get a victory there. So right now, Texas 1-1, Orioles 1-1. So first place right now after 2 games. Like I said, 2 games is not really, a season, as you would say. But the teams that are 2-0 in the West Division are the Chicago White Sox and the Minnesota Twins. Go figure. Chicago White Sox and Minnesota Twins are 2-0. Everybody else is 1-1. In the Eastern Division, Toronto Blue Jays are 2-0. The Milwaukee Brewers are 2-0. Other teams are 1-1, although the Red Sox and the Indians are 0-2. So, but obviously, just 2 games means nothing. So, anyway, wild one here. I knew it would be because the pitching matchups was horrible. The one thing I didn't expect was 5 perfect innings from the Oriole bullpen, but it didn't matter because they were already behind 10-2 at the time. But to throw 5 perfect innings in relief combined between Eric Bell and Dave Schmidt, to throw 5 perfect innings, something else. But what are you going to do? All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, NBC Game of the Week, 1973. Strat-O-Matic. It'll be the Pirates and the Cardinals. And then, again, Chicago White Sox and the Royals. Next video in the 87 replay. That'll probably be sometime around Tuesday, I'm thinking. I'm going to shoot for Tuesday, but it might be Wednesday. Depends on how fast I can play these other games offline. I do have a life, so sometimes life gets in the way, but I'll try to do what I can. Since I'm not doing inside pitch, having to do the 67 inside pitch anymore, that's going to free up some time as well. But of course, this weekend you got football, so I'm going to be distracted by football tomorrow for sure. All right, folks, thank you all for tuning in, spending part of your Friday evening with us. And Tabby is, hopefully she's calming down now, not too mad at me for disturbing her, but she'll get over it. She'll forget about it in about an hour, and she'll be all happy and everything like that. So until next time, as I say, Strat on. And again, Rangers 10, Orioles 6, winning pitcher Ed Correa, losing pitcher Scott McGregor, and the save to Mitch Williams, who faced 1 batter. He struck out Eddie Murray with the tying run on deck, and he gets the save. So there's your ball game. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.